Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to tell a story about when my neighbors tried to steal some of my property. Okay, so a little backstory first. I've lived in this house for about 5 years now. It's a cute little place, cozy, nothing fancy, but it's mine. I've always been pretty friendly with the neighbors, you know, waving when we take out the trash, small talk about the weather, that kind of thing. Nothing too deep. Then one day, this new couple moves in next door. Let's call them Bob and Karen. They seemed nice enough at first. We'd exchange casual hellos, and they even brought me cookies once. Seemed like normal, friendly neighbors, until things got weird. So, a couple of months after they moved in, Karen started coming over a lot. Like, a lot. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Maybe she was just being friendly, right? But she'd always make these weird comments about how my house looked so similar to theirs. Like she'd say stuff like, "Oh, your house feels like it was meant to be ours." Or, "We almost bought this place instead of ours." She'd laugh it off, but it was weird, you know? Then things escalated. One morning, I wake up to this banging noise coming from outside. I look out the window and see Karen and a contractor in my front yard. They're pointing at my porch, looking like they're planning something. So I throw on some clothes and go outside like, can I help you? Karen smiles at me, all innocent, and says, "Oh, hey, we're thinking about expanding our porch, and I just wanted to see how it might look on your side. You know, since our houses are so similar." Now keep in mind, her house is not a mirror image of mine. Sure, they're both 2 stories, but they have a completely different layout, so I'm standing there, dumbfounded. Like, what? You're planning to expand your porch, but using my house as a model? How does that make sense? She laughs it off again, saying something about visualizing it, and that it's no big deal. At this point, I'm already getting bad vibes, but I just tell her, please don't bring people onto my property without asking, and go back inside. Weird, right? But it gets worse. A couple of weeks later, I get a letter in the mail. And guys, this is where it gets absolutely insane. The letter is from Bob and Karen's lawyer, claiming that there's been a mistake with the property lines. According to them, part of my front yard actually belongs to them. And they want me to either tear down a section of my fence or pay them to keep it there. Like, what? I'm not an expert in property law, but I've lived here for years, and everything was clearly marked when I bought the place. So I immediately get my own lawyer involved. He checks everything, and guess what? My property lines are perfectly fine. No mistakes, no overlap, nothing. It's all just nonsense. I send Karen and Bob's lawyer the documents proving they're wrong, thinking that'll be the end of it. But no, these people are relentless. A few days later, Karen shows up at my door again, acting like nothing happened. She's all smiles and casual, asking if I've thought about resolving the property issue amicably. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? There is no issue. She gets this weird look on her face and then, I kid you not, says, well, you might want to reconsider. We're talking to some people who could make this difficult for you. Like, what does that even mean? Are they threatening me now? At this point, I've had enough. I tell her to leave, close the door, and call my lawyer again. He reassures me that everything's fine, and that they're just trying to scare me into giving them part of my yard. But man, it's starting to feel personal. Things get quiet for a bit, and I think maybe they've finally backed off. But then one night, I come home from work, and my front gate is wide open. I know I closed it when I left, so I check the security cameras I have set up, thankfully. And what do I see? Bob and Karen standing in my yard, looking around like they own the place. They didn't break in or anything, but it's super creepy. Like they're just there, standing, looking at my house. I felt violated just watching the footage, so I finally had to take this to the next level. I got a restraining order against them. I didn't want to, but they were literally coming onto my property when I wasn't home. I mean, who does that? Since then, things have calmed down, but every time I see them, they give me this smug little smile like they know something I don't. But whatever, I'm not playing their game anymore. I've got my lawyer, the restraining order, and my security cameras. So yeah, that's the story of how my neighbor tried to steal my yard, and possibly my whole house for all I know. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my story, and I hope you come back for more.